please listen very carefully. First of all, purpose. You have to make sure that you clarify the purpose of your referral letter immediately. Even for example, in doctors or in other professions, you do know the importance of making your purpose apparent, because normally we don't have a lot of time to read long letters. So it is important that you catch the attention of the reader immediately. So the purpose is really important and it should be immediately apparent and sufficiently expanded in the course of the letter. It shouldn't be like that you explain the purpose immediately and then you are beating about the bush and then in the end you write about why you are writing this letter. So be careful in that as well. Then moving on to the content. Normally the case notes will be very long, so you have to be professional. You have to use your own clinical knowledge and apply that, and use only the necessary information that should be included and must be accurate. I have underlined that it should be accurate. Make sure that you write the right thing. For example, if the passage says the patient has DM2 and you write DM1, that will make you lose marks. So write correctly and try to incorporate all the necessary information. For example, if the patient has, let's say, a minimal skin, you have to write. You are writing a letter about a chest pain, a referral letter to the ICU or a cardiologist, and the history notes mention that the patient has a benign mole. So you can clearly ignore that because it doesn't concern the cardiologist. Or even you can omit all the information that you find unnecessary for the cardiologist. Or maybe if you are writing to a nurse, a referral letter to a home care nurse, you can omit details like the patient has these and these symptoms, or but make sure that you tell them about the medications, because this is what the nurses do. And the dressing and the nursing care, you have to make sure to include all the information that is important and relevant to the person you are writing the letter to. Okay, that is why the content is important. Then conciseness and clarity. It is relevant to the previous point. Unnecessary information is omitted, making an effective summary, because the word count is limited. I think the word count is 150 to 200 here as well. No, I think the word count is not marked on this, but if you write all the unnecessary information, you start writing each and everything that is given in the history, you will lose marks. Okay, number of words is not important, but adding unnecessary information is not good and will result in losing marks. Then genre and style. The tone and use of abbreviation must be appropriate. They use abbreviations just like we do in real life. So in the case note, you might find some abbreviations. So it is okay that you use those abbreviations, but please don't use any abbreviations that are not mentioned in the case notes, because again the examiner might not be a doctor and they might not understand. So make sure you are only allowed to use the abbreviations that are mentioned in the stem, in the history notes, but don't use any of your own abbreviations. You can use very common abbreviations like DOB is date of birth, things like that, or BD or QID, but nothing else should be used. Keep it simple and sweet. Then organization and layout. The letter should be organized and well planned. I cannot stress this point enough, that you have to write a well organized and well planned letter. Make in a it should go in a flow, and I will explain in the next slide how you can organize your letter. So make sure, please take a screenshot of the next slide and try practicing that. Language. Again, of course, let's not forget this is an English language test. So the accuracy of grammar, vocabulary, spelling, and punctuation must communicate the necessary information. You cannot make grammatical errors, vocab errors, spelling errors, or any errors for that matter, because it is an English language test, not a regular referral letter that you are writing. Letter structure. Everyone, please feel free to take a screenshot of this and try to incorporate this while you are practicing and writing your own letters. So the pattern is like that. First of all, you have to write the date. The date. Can you see my cursor? Yeah. The date can also be written after the name and address of the receiver, or it can be written at the top, whatever suits you, it doesn't really matter. Okay, but make sure you write all of these things. Make sure you write all of these things in the beginning, and then you can go on to read the whole passage and build your letter. Okay, because a lot of people forget writing these things and end up losing marks. Okay, so first of all, you will write the date. The date is the date of your examination. Okay, so whenever you are taking the examination, you are going to mention that date in the passage. That will the same date will be written. Then you have to write the name. In the first line, you will write the name of the receiver, and the second line you will write the address of the receiver. Make sure you don't write a long line of the address, divided into 2 to 3 words, and write it in 3 lines. Okay, first name, for example, if the name is Dr. Fatma Gilani, you will write Dr. Fatma Gilani, and if the address is long, you will divide it into 3 lines and write that in that way. Okay, then again the date can be adjusted here as well, suit yourself. Then the subject is really important. You have to subject or write re is equal to re means regarding. So you will write the patient's name and their date of birth. It is the same for everyone, so you have to write the patient's name, and you don't have to write date of birth. Just write patient name in one line, in the second line rewrite DOB and write the date of birth. Then salutation, always write the same salutation, dear Dr. Falana. Normally they use the surname or when they are calling someone. So for if the doctor's name is, for example, let's take my example, if my name is Dr. Fatma Gilani, you will write dear Dr. dot Gilani, comma. Okay, the salutation would be like that, my surname would be used. Then the important part, that is the body of the letter, where you have to be organized, where you'll be marked, and you have to use your head for this part. Body of the letter, the first point would be introduction. As I mentioned, make your purpose apparent immediately. So in the introduction, you will write the main issue, why you are writing this letter to this person, and what you want them to do, your request. For example, the patient has for congestive cardiac failure and you want them to run an echo. So you will write here that thank you for seeing my patient. I am writing this, this patient has been diagnosed with, we are suspecting that the patient has CCF, congestive cardiac failure, and I want you to do an echo on them. So in the first paragraph, make sure to introduce the main issue and the purpose. Then you have to write in the second paragraph, you have to write about details about the main issue, like a brief history when it happened. Maybe the patient had a heart attack at some point and then they missed their medication. So you have to write the events leading up to this issue and all the related information that has been given to you. If the patient has any other secondary issue that you find important, or it's relevant but not immediately relevant. For example, if the patient has is getting headaches or things like that, you can write the secondary issue here. Or if the patient has social issues like he smokes a lot, drinks a lot, you can write that here. Okay. Then in the fourth paragraph, you have to write if there's any additional information. Mostly you have to write about the medications here. Again, you don't have to write, sorry, excuse me, you don't have to write each and every detail of the medication. You can just write the names of the medication, and you can also write that the drug chart and the investigation reports will be sent to you over in due time. And then in the request and detail, here again you will repeat the purpose of your letter. You will again request them to do an echo for this patient, and write another line in the ending, just like we used to do when we used to write letters. It sounds nice. Always write in the end that should you require any other information, please feel free to contact me. You can write in your own way, whatever suits you, but make sure that you give them give them an option to contact you if they need any more information, because that's what we write. And then the ending is yours truly or yours sincerely. Always make sure, because in professional settings you write yours sincerely normally, so just or stick to that, yours sincerely. And then in the end, you don't have to write your full name, just write doctor, sender name doctor, and that is it, and you are done with your letter. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat box. And thank you. For more detailed lectures, one-to-one practice, or letter checking services, you can always contact me on my email and find me on Instagram.